What is going on, everyone? Platinum Beast coming at you with yet another video. Today we are going to be doing episode 36 of the Platinum Beast Answers series. I look forward to getting into the comments that you all left for me on last week's video. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, everyone, so not very many comments on last week's video, that's for sure. But hey, we're still going to do this answers video because I like doing it and I like keeping consistency on my channel. So be sure to get your comments in the comment section down below for me to read them out on next week's video and respond to them in a video for you all. So with all that being said, let's dive right on into the comments. So up first, we have Vincent Victory. Vincent Victory says, 905 is platinum really that easy to sell though? I thought that was the primary purpose of gold because it takes up less space and is easy to sell. So the platinum, easy to sell. In my experience, it has been very easy to sell. I have sold platinum at different times. Not a whole lot of platinum I've sold, but I have sold it and it's gone fairly quick. The one thing I find is if you have the ability to sell to a private individual, which is very easy with the internet these days, you can sell on Reddit, on Facebook, on Instagram, you know, even in the YouTube community, people are willing to buy. So it's very easy to sell to private individuals in my experience. Also, if worse comes to worse, at least my LCS does take platinum. They pay a little bit less than gold and silver, but they do take it. And refineries will take it as well, but they also pay a little bit less than gold and silver. So in my experience, it has been easy to sell. Perhaps it may be different for you. I also cannot speak about foreign nations, right? If you live in a foreign country other than the United States of America, it may prove to be a little bit more difficult to sell. I am unfamiliar with really any other country other than America when it comes to selling. So it is something to take into account and something to consider when deciding on buying platinum and, you know, planning your exit game and strategy and things like that. But that's a great question nonetheless. And I would say that gold may be easier to sell worldwide. However, platinum in America, it's pretty much just as easy to sell as gold. And in my experience, you get almost all the premium out of it that you put in. Maybe a little bit less than a retail market, but, you know, that's really how it's going to go with any metal because, you know, if you're selling Eagles at $10 over spot and a dealer's selling them at $10 over spot, well, I'm going to trust the dealer a whole lot more than a random individual. So usually the random individual is going to want to get something out of it. So you sell an Eagle, a silver Eagle, for $9 below spot, right? So they save $1 if they buy through you. Now they have to trust that you are legit and things like that, but they save $1. You make almost all the premium that a dealer would, minus a buck or two, and it is what it is. But that's just been my experience personally as far as buying platinum and selling platinum. So, but that's a great point you make, and yes, gold does fit that bill pretty well as far as taking up less space and being easy to sell. So you could just stack gold, and just stacking gold is not a bad play in my opinion. There are plenty of people who do that, and, you know, that's probably a really solid play. Platinum is more speculative for sure. I've mentioned that many times on my channel. And the reason that I like it is because of the speculative value that I see it being. So, great comment nonetheless, my friend, though. I really appreciate it. Up next, we have Mr. Benny Benny. Mr. Benny Benny says, I really like how you've been including bars in your videos lately. I thought about getting a Credit Suisse for my next bar, but wondering about the assay packaging. I noticed they seem loose inside the clear packaging, unlike PAMP or Volcambi, which seems to hold the bars more firmly. Just don't want a loose bar shipped to me. Thanks. So that is an interesting point you make and an interesting observation you make as well. I assume you're talking about this Credit Suisse bar as well as this one. And you are correct that the assay, I don't know exactly how you say it, but the assay that these come in is really rather kind of garbage. And I agree with you on that's really frustrating that it's loose, because as you can see there, it's being really good for me now, but yeah, there it goes. See, it's loose in there, and that's just not anyone's favorite at all. Now, I actually like these, and I'm going to tell you why. Because they don't actually make these assays anymore, right? They have moved on to the plastic hard assays that are much more secure and much less loose in there, such as the Pamp Suisse and the Volcambi. So if you're thinking about getting Credit Suisse, chances are if you buy one, it will come in a hard assay, not a loose one like these. So you're more than likely going to get it in something like this. Now, Pamp is a great company to buy platinum bars from, in my opinion, and you know, I think they hold the most premium overall, in my opinion. The argument could be also made for Credit Suisse, though. Like you said, Volcambi is going to be your lowest premium bar, so those are the least desirable. So if you're looking for something that will hold a little bit more desirability, Pamp or Credit Suisse is your bet. They do not do these plastic flimsy assays anymore for Credit Suisse. So if you have these are sort of considered vintage, which I kind of like. However, the new ones are plastic, just like the Pamps and the Volcambis. So you really can't go wrong with any platinum bar that you choose. Argor Horaeus is another good brand, and they also all come in plastic hard assays that secure the bar tightly and securely, and they don't move around. But at this point, it's really just up to you which bar you like the best, because they all come in basically the same assay. But that is something that did frustrate me in the beginning, was the loose assays. It really did frustrate me, but you know, when they were making the change to the hard plastic, they didn't really tell anyone that, and so I was beginning to think that these were going to become vintage and no longer minted. However, they did continue minting them, and they just swapped the assay, so that took them some time. So that's why they were a little bit harder to find for a little while. However, nowadays, they're fairly easy to find, but still somewhat collectible. A lot of people like the Credit Suisse stuff over Volcambi, so it might not be a bad option for you, my friend. But great comment nonetheless, and great question, and things like that. And I look forward to hearing about whether or not you picked up the Credit Suisse or something else. So let me know if you have already picked up something in the comments on this video. But thank you for your comment, Benny. I really appreciate it. Up next, we have Mr. Plumber Stacker. Says, great video. Love how you explain the flip. It's easy to get what you want cheaper. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It definitely is better, an easy way to get something cheaper. You know, flipping isn't such a bad thing if you are comfortable with it, you know, and you know what to do, and you are the type of person who can have something in your hands and say, I'm not going to hold on to this because there's something else that I want, you know. So that's a great way to, you know, get what you want by flipping, you know, other pieces that you may not want as much. You know, at the end of the day, stacking is stacking, and we do it for the weight, but if we can get stuff we like and not really pay much more or pay very little more, might as well go for it. But thank you for your comment, Plumber Stacker. And if you have not checked out Plumber Stacker's channel, be sure to do so. He has a very cool YouTube channel, very level-headed guy, and he puts out some great content that I am sure you will enjoy. Up next, we have Mr. Shabu Shabu. Says, I've noticed a few times you've referenced religion/prayer. Are you a Christian? If so, research the Orthodox Church. Heck, even if not, check it out. Yes, I am a Christian. I do follow Christ. I don't really talk about it a lot on my channel because that's not what my channel's focus is, but I also am not ashamed to say that. I am a Christian, I am a believer, and I am a follower of Christ. I will have to do some research into the Orthodox Church, though. I've heard about the Orthodox Church. I do not attend, quote, an Orthodox church. I am actually a Southern Baptist. That is my denomination. However, I know that you don't have to be a Southern Baptist to be a Christian, but that's just the church I was raised in and the church I've attended pretty much all my life. Different churches, but always Southern Baptist, because that's just kind of the theology and thinking that I've aligned myself closest with. But that's a great observation, and yes, I am a Christian, so I will do some research into the Orthodox Church. It's interesting that you mentioned that, because I've heard of different sort of Orthodox churches. I've heard of the Greek Orthodox, I've heard of the Russian Orthodox, so I'll have to do some more research into just plain old Orthodox Church. But thank you for your comment, my friend. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to finding out about the Orthodox Church. Up next, we have Mr. J. Dubau. Mr. J. Dubau says, I got my first 1-ounce St. Helena Victoria coin. Very disappointed. Had a huge scratch across the entire front of the coin. Well, that really is unfortunate. I'm not sure where you got it from, but if you got it from one of the big dealers, let them know. Usually they'll try to make it right. You know, they'll send you a coupon or something exclusive, maybe even just refund you a little bit, or they usually want to keep your business. So I would highly suggest, you know, even just sending an email saying, hey, you know, kind of disappointed with the way the coin arrived, and just let them know your situation and your circumstances, and I'm sure they'll get you probably taken care of. And, you know, you might be able to get a little bit extra for your buck. So, but that is unfortunate. I look forward to getting that coin at some point. Right now, I do not have it on order. However, I do hope to have it at some point in the future. But hey, you know, even if it's scratched, that's still a great pickup, because you have 1 ounce of platinum. You may even want to see if they'll maybe swap it out for you. You might have to end up shipping it back to them, but chances are they probably aren't out of stock, because that coin just came out, and they might be able to find you a better looking one. So that's my suggestion to you, my friend, but good job on trying at least to stack platinum when you can. That's a great addition to anybody's stack, is platinum. Up next, we have Mr. Jack says, question about crypto. I've heard people say crypto is now serving the same inflation hedge purpose that metals used to serve. How can we reconcile that with what has happened in the past week? Cryptos took a major bath, as did the stock market on some days, but metals held up well. In your opinion, what purpose do or should crypto serve? Are they similar to metals? I have heard that argument many times as well. I've heard that cryptos are the new metal, Bitcoin's the new gold. I'm not sold on it. I'm just going to let you know. I'm also not an expert in crypto. I don't even invest in crypto. I invest in the stock market. I invest in metals, but I do not invest in crypto. A lot of people believe in it. A lot of people back it. However, it would seem like just I really just can't get behind it. And you know, I saw a statistic somewhere that there's now 1,000 different types of crypto. Now, I know a lot of people think, oh, it's all that matters is Bitcoin, Ethereum, and maybe Dogecoin or whatever it's called. There's only a few that actually matter. All the rest are just fake. But that's really the thing is, you know, they're all very similar. Some have limits, right? Like Bitcoin, only so many Bitcoin can be mined, so its availability is finite, and that kind of is similar to gold and silver in that they are rare metals, and there's only so much the world has. However, I still just don't really see the purpose of Bitcoin. They say it can be used as a medium of exchange. They act like the dollar is going to be replaced by crypto, but even so, it still seems to me that, you know, it's just a digital currency, right? Like if I take a dollar, a US dollar, and I put it in my bank account, and I have it on my card, and I log in online, and it says I have $1 in my account. Well, that paper dollar I've essentially just turned into a digital form of money that I can use and spend. Now, I can go and get that physical dollar back out if I want to. However, at the current time, it's just on a screen, and it's mine, but I don't have actual physical I'm not actually physically holding it, right? So I go to a store, I spend the dollar, I pull out my card, and I spend it, my digital dollar, so to speak. The store that I spent it at didn't actually get a dollar, a physical dollar. They got a digital dollar from my bank to their bank, and they can go and then get a dollar from their bank if they so desire. However, it is said that most of the money that is in people's bank accounts is not even really tied to actual paper currency. The amount of paper currency that is in circulation does not equal the amount of wealth in the United States of America. And I would assume it is the same for many countries. So what am I trying to say by all this? Well, what I'm trying to say is the crypto, it just seems like it has the ability to be the medium of exchange. And people say that. However, its volatility is insane. Going from 60,000 to 30,000 within a very short amount of time. I mean, imagine being paid in crypto, right? Like minimum wage or something. You get paid $7.25 an hour, and then 2 weeks later, you decided to hold on to it, and it's now worth $3.12. Like, you were supposed to get paid $7.25 an hour in Bitcoin, however, and you did, it's just you didn't spend it in time, and so now it's worth less. I don't know. I don't like it at all. I don't really agree with what people say about it replacing gold and silver. Just doesn't seem realistic to me. And so I don't really back it. I also am honest enough to say I don't know enough about it to really tell you you shouldn't or should. I also don't claim to be a financial advisor. I just share my opinions. But that is what my opinion is. I don't see it as being the same as gold and silver. It's the same in that Bitcoin has a finite number attached to it. Just like silver and platinum and gold, right? The world only has so much. It's the same in that somebody somewhere will take your Bitcoin in exchange for actual goods. Somebody somewhere will take your silver in exchange for actual goods as well. However, it's hard to find someone to do silver, and it's also hard to find someone to do Bitcoin. I know Tesla takes Bitcoin, some of the bullion dealers take Bitcoin, but it's far and few between. Same with silver. You know, a coin shop will take your silver and give you money. And perhaps you might be able to find a bank or an individual or someone, a pawn shop or something, who will give you a loan based on the value of spot of your stack or what have you. However, most people are just not going to take it in exchange for goods or services. So they are similar, right? However, I think since it has a finite number, they are not regulated or limited by that finite number, because there's multiple cryptocurrencies and a new cryptocurrency can be created tomorrow. So imagine gold. Imagine someone could create more gold, the same exact thing, only, you know, it was just stamped differently, right? It had a different stamp. Like, instead of an eagle, a buffalo, right? Imagine if we took gold out of the ground and it was buffaloes. That's goofy to think of, but just bear with me. Imagine it's buffaloes, and the world just made gold buffaloes come out of the ground. But that's all the gold that came out of the ground. But someone came and made a gold eagle. It's the same thing. It just is an eagle versus a buffalo, but otherwise it's the same thing. Same metal, same everything. Same thing with crypto. Bitcoin is finite. There's only so many that can be mined, but there's so many cryptos that are basically the same thing, or can be created to be the same thing. So there's many different flaws and many different problems I see with cryptocurrency, but that's just my take on it, and that's just what I think. But at the end of the day, I know a lot of people buy into that stuff and they believe in that stuff, so that is what it is. But great comment nonetheless, my friend. I really appreciate it. Up next, we have Mr. Butterbeans. Says, great info. Thank you, Mr. Butterbeans. I really appreciate you stopping by and checking out my video. And last but not least, we have, of course, Mr. Coins A to Z. Mr. Coins A to Z says, buy what you like. I agree wholeheartedly. Buy what you like. You know, don't really matter what anyone thinks. Buy what you like. Buy what you want. Do whatever you want with your life and your money and everything, really. At the end of the day, even don't buy stuff just because I say buy stuff, you know. Make your own decisions. I just like sharing my opinions and thoughts and stuff like that. But thank you, Coins A to Z, for your comment. And thank you, everyone who commented on this week's video. Be sure to leave your comment down in the comment section down below for next week's video. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with future videos that I put out. And until next time, guys, we will see ya.